Hello everyone, I'm Alex from bulletpointfitness.com, and in today's video we're going to be talking about why it's so vitally important to build muscle as we age. Now this video is especially for my older viewers, but it's actually for people of all ages. I'm going to discuss all of the important factors for building muscle and why it's so important. You can build muscle at any age, but the younger you are, the easier it is and the better it is. However, even if you're only starting to build muscle at a slightly older age, so say from 50s, 60s and 70s, you can still build muscle, but it will be harder. As we age, our body starts to deteriorate. Unfortunately, this is part and parcel of the aging process. However, we do have some level of influence on the rate at which we deteriorate. So through proper exercise and nutrition habits, we can minimize the effects of deterioration on our bodies. One of the processes of deterioration as we age is called muscle sarcopenia. So this is the loss of muscle fibers and muscle mass. The best way to minimize the effects of this is to do some kind of resistance training. By placing muscles under load and getting them to a high point of effort, you're going to create the stimulus for them to grow and develop. This signaling from resistance training is going to signal to your body that it needs to keep and maintain the muscle mass. So this is why resistance training is so vitally important, not just as we're younger, but also as we age. And it's something we should be doing at every age. Another really important factor to think about with muscle mass is by having more muscle mass, you're going to improve your insulin sensitivity. What this means is your body's ability to deal with glucose and carbohydrates. As you have more muscle mass, and especially after a resistance exercise or exercise in general, you activate a receptor on the muscle surface cell membrane called GLUT4. This allows glucose to enter the muscle from the bloodstream without the necessary presence of insulin. This means your body is more insulin sensitive, which also reduces the risks of developing type 2 diabetes, which is insulin resistance, when your body can no longer, or your muscles and liver cells no longer respond to insulin. So by building muscle mass, you can help reduce the risk or minimize the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. By building and developing muscle mass, you can also improve the strength of joints and bones, which improves their health. By building muscle mass, you can build the support around the joint and the bone, which can give it the necessary support it needs. This can also minimize the risk of developing osteoporosis, which is especially prevalent in women as they age. By building muscle mass, you're helping building up the overall strength of your body. This is also vitally important as you age because one of the main killers of people is frailty. This can mean either bones breaking when you fall or just being frail in general. So to minimize the risks and mortality risks associated with frailty, focusing on building and maintaining as much muscle mass as possible as you age is a really important factor. With regards to healthy aging, there's always been a high level of importance placed on cardiovascular health. Now don't get me wrong, doing your cardio and moving is vitally important, and improving your cardiovascular health or maintaining it is really important as you age, as still cardiovascular disease is one of the biggest risk factors for mortality as we age. However, just think about this for a second. If you want to be able to walk, you first have to get up, whether it's out of a chair or whether it's from a bed. You need the ability to actually stand up and get up. This requires strength. In order to maximize strength and maintain it as you age, you need to build and maintain as much muscle mass as possible. So what this means is that you'll have the ability to stand up and then be able to move. If you can't stand up, if you can't get up, your life will come in around you, and your ability to do things as you age will decrease further and further and further. This means that you'll be able to do less and less things, losing your freedom of movement and you losing your freedom to do things. This will decrease your quality of life, so therefore maintaining and building as much muscle mass is vitally important to maintain as high a quality of life as you can possibly have for as long as possible. Let's face it, the other reason why you should build muscle mass is purely for vanity. Now, all of us want to look good no matter what our age is. So whether we're young, middle-aged or old, we want to look as best as we can. Muscle mass provides the shape for your body. And by building muscle mass, you're going to improve the way you look. It's as simple as that, whether you like it or not. So by building that muscle mass, you can help improve the way you look, not only just from the muscles themselves, but also by building the muscles for stability, balance and coordination, you can help build up your posture as well and maintain that. Because as we age, gravity places higher and higher pressures on our body. So to be able to minimize the effects of gravity, we want to build and maintain as much muscle mass as possible. This then can help improve and maintain your posture, which can help improve the way you look, building up your confidence and maintaining your confidence as you age as well. So with all of these benefits for building and maximizing muscle, not just when we're younger, but as we age, the simple question is, well, why aren't you doing it? Now, if you have a barrier to entry for doing some kind of resistance exercise, remember, just start off small and start off slow. So if it's 1 to 2 sessions of resistance training a week, begin with that. If you don't know what exercises to do for each muscle, this is where you can go on to bulletpointfitness.com onto our interactive muscle map. Click on a muscle and you'll get the exercises you need to train that muscle. As with all of my clients, I tell them to train as often as they can. So that means you can have 2 to 3, 4 resistance training sessions per week if your schedule permits it. However, if you want to do more, you can always do more. And this will help maintain and build muscle mass for your body. If you have any questions, make sure you put them down in the comment section below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and head on over to bulletpointfitness.com for more information.